Hey everyone, a great Wednesday for you today, and we have a great show. Not only good, but a tip that could bring you some money and maybe even more fun. More on that in just a moment. Now, so of course in Mimi's kitchen, she's been putting together some totally amazing smoothies. They taste so fresh, they are the most flavorful drink I have ever had.
I can't stop doing this. It's so good. Yum.
Thanks, Mimi. We will get right back to you very, very soon. So each week, we invite a guest on our show who we think you can learn from, maybe get a little smarter, maybe happier, and in today's case, a little richer if you want. That's a lot to cover in one show, so today's guest will also be here on Friday. His name is Izzy Kharasch.
Started to do restaurants in high school. Barnaby's, a Chicago favorite, was my first job as a dishwasher, and worked my way up to busboy, and that was it. I took a little break from food service when I went into the Army, but when I got out, I went to the Culinary Institute of America because I still had an interest in culinary and cooking and those kind of things. So I went through school there, and I worked as a chef for 6 or 7 years. The last job I had was the executive chef of the faculty club in private dining at Harvard University.
Wow, you're the real deal. That's great.
Yeah, so it made my mom very happy that she could say she had a son that was at Harvard. I didn't say I was going to Harvard, just I was at Harvard.
Well, there's however you can get in, I guess. Well, it wasn't that long ago that people were kind of in the dark about what went on in the kitchen, and people like Anthony Bourdain and Kitchen Confidential, and made kings made cooks celebrities. But anyway, talk a little bit about how you've seen that transition.
Well, it's been big. I mean, when I, again, was in culinary school and I worked in the industry, it was strictly a blue-collar job. Even if you were an executive chef, everybody still considered cooking and hospitality blue-collar. And, after, certainly around the time of Bourdain, but as food became, more popular, people became more sophisticated in terms of willing to try new things. I mean, the first time I had sushi was in 1980 when I lived in Hawaii, or was stationed in Hawaii, and I was way ahead of the trend.
Yeah, you were. That was early.
Nobody heard of sushi back in Chicago. But I loved it, and people have, again, expanded their horizons, and chefs, throughout the 90s and into the 2000s, especially with the advent of these reality shows, really turned things around and came up with incredibly new concepts, innovative, imaginative, and now it really has raised, chefs who are executive chefs and well-known to totally white collar, with salaries competing with, the highest paid professionals.
That must have been a surprise to you back at the time when you started, and to see what it is today.
Yeah, it was, and it's great that I've been able to see the transition. I'm currently in Montana cooking at a dude ranch, and everybody, who works here is somewhere between 19 and 25. Mm-hmm. So, they don't see what the history was. But when I went to chef school, I was in a class of 70, and we had 6 women. That was it.
Yeah,
and that was a lot at the time. And I don't think I worked with my first woman in a kitchen for the next 5 years. But now, the industry, there's more women in the culinary arts than men.
Yeah. Well, what is it about this business that gets into people's skin?
It is, a real passion. I mean, I was talking to one of the kids today, and their father's an engineer, and he's getting ready to retire, and he cooks really well, and he's thinking he wants to open a restaurant. I said, have him call me so I can tell him, don't open a restaurant, right? Because his passion is different than the people who come into the business, who really enjoy a high, stressful environment. It's also one, again, different than engineering or being a doctor or whatever, because you get instant gratification. You know, you prep all day, you work hard, you make the sauces, and then boom, time for dinner, you put out the plate, and you get to see the end result. And of course, the other part of the end result is making sure the customer loves what you do. But, you know, I think, again, to be successful at the level that I'm at, you know, in terms of, you know, corporate chef or executive chef, you have to be willing to get up early. You know, I still put in, you know, like here where I'm working now, I'm in the kitchen by 5 and I'm out of the kitchen at 9. It's a long day, and it's not all the time, but if that's not what you're prepared for, then this is not the business for you.
Mesli is, to our knowledge, the world's first fully automated restaurant. It serves Mediterranean grain bowls. You order from the side, and then it makes it for you, and you pick it up from the smart lockers on the end.
And what will robots be replacing?
Well, you know, it's interesting. I was talking to somebody about some robots that we put into a restaurant, 2 robots, that, you know, the food comes out of the kitchen, they take it, they put the food on these shelves for the robots, and then they say to the robot, go to table 12. The robot goes and takes the food to table 12, and then the server, you know, takes it off and gives it to the people. And that's interesting. My client wasn't, you know, they never would have looked at this before COVID, but we couldn't find anybody to run food. So we're paying $1,000 a month per robot. And in the first year, because we pay, you know, the $1,000 a month, but minimum wage is now $15 an hour. And between a robot, let's say, costing, you know, $24,000 or $12,000, so the 2 are $24,000. By not having those employees, we saved $40,000 in labor. And the robots showed up every day. They were never drunk, no girlfriend problem, you know, all those things. So that's what they're going to be replacing. And I just went to the restaurant show in Chicago, and I think we're, again, 4 to 6 years away from a Domino's pizza being able to run, instead of with, I don't know, a dozen employees, probably 2. Because there are robots being made that will take care of the entire pizza, cook it, and all the person has to do is cut it, box it, and get it out.
I know I will miss the personal touch and the human interaction that comes with a traditional restaurant service. Robots can never replace that. This flows right into Mimi's kitchen. You know, I want to someday have Mimi as a guest so that you can hear all about her love of restaurants and where she still works today. And when she's not with me or doing these shows, well, Mimi, just take it away.
Hello, hello, hello. I remember I said I'm gonna come back with another mango or pineapple, but guess what? I got some melon. It's also the time to eat melon. It is delicious. You have honeydew, you have melon, you have so many varieties of melon. So use them again for night smoothies by the pool or anytime you want. So today you will need a squeeze of a lime, fresh lime, a cup of any melon you like, 2 small frozen bananas. I always have some bananas in the freezer. So, okay, a half a cup of almond milk or oat milk or just normal milk, and half a cup, of Greek yogurt, and Greek yogurt plain. Voila! So we're gonna start doing that. It is good and very refreshing and easy to make, and it can replace a meal. So you don't have to, you know, you go to swim or you're having friends over, just make a smoothie like this one. Everybody's gonna be satisfied. All right, you add all the ingredients. All right. And by the way, if it's a little thick, you can always add a little bit of almond milk or any milk you like. Voila. And your squeeze of a lime. If you like it very lemony, you can put the whole lime, like me. I like lime, so there you go. Voila. And, oh, what is my thing? Oh, it's right here. So there you go. And we start doing it. And of course, I need a glass, so I'm gonna get it right now. Here you go. Voila. Okay, this thing is has a little attitude, you know. It doesn't just start. Oh, some people are gonna be so happy to drink this. All right. Ooh. Wow, wow, wow. Smells delicious. Aha. And you know, I love basil or mint. You can add some fresh basil like I'm gonna do now. There you go. Just on top like this. It's just gonna give you a little fragrance. Oh, perfecto. You see how beautiful this is? Now I'm gonna taste it. No, seriously, this is delicious. What's not to like? Bananas and melon and yogurt, and it's fantastic. Try it. Please do. Look how beautiful this is. And very easy. You can put a straw, but you know, worrying about the environment, you just drink it like this. Cheers. And see you next time.
Thanks, Mimi. I want to thank you for supporting the show. If you liked it or you learned something new, I want to tell you 3 ways that you can support the show and keep the Let's Talk Variety Show going. And number 1, just get yourself subscribed. Every show, I am bringing inspirational guests who can teach or have something interesting to share. So just take a moment to hit that subscribe button. And number 2, this is really the ultimate way to support the Let's Talk Variety Show, and it takes, it takes less than a minute. You can write something short and sweet like, I love the show, it has changed your life, or something you learned from it. I am not exaggerating that I read reviews every day, and every single one, whether short or long, it means everything to me. The more reviews means the higher we rank on all those algorithms, which means bigger guests. So just take a minute to leave a review. And 3, share the show with your friends. Just hit that share button. We live stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I am just eternally grateful, and I thank you so much for supporting the Let's Talk Variety Show. We're all about productivity, positivity, happiness, and inspiration.